So, brothers, it's let's see, so it's the 27th of April. Shannon Sharpe. They've been talking about Shannon Sharpe for probably maybe two weeks already, but they've talked about him dealing with somebody that's 19, and at the time when he started dealing with her, she was 56. I mean, I'm sorry, she was 19 and he was 54. So they've talked. A lot of people have been talking about that, even though she is a legal age. They've also brought up the race card. But brothers, my only focus is to speak to you guys on how you could avoid nonsense like this. Because Shannon Sharp put himself in this situation, and now he has tarnished his whole his whole legacy. His whole legacy is tarnished because of this one incident. Whether y'all want to believe it or not, black men are targeted. I don't know if I used that word correct or said that word right, but they're a target out here in the United States. Matter of fact, around the world. We have a bullseye on our back and even on our chest. And for some reason, some of these men still put themselves in make bad decisions. And for what? Because this could be you. Shannon Sharp has been accused of sexual assault. Luckily, it wasn't a minor. But even though the girl's legal, why would you put yourself in that type of situation with a 19-year-old? And I'm not even saying that he should get somebody his own age, because a lot of these women have a childlike mentality. But why put yourself in this type of situation? Why? What was the reason for that, Shannon Sharp? There's other black men that have gone through similar stuff. You had Floyd Mather, who I believe he was accused of physical abuse, and now the women that he deals with, they have to sign something before they deal with him. But again, Shannon Sharp, why would you put yourself in this type of situation? You are worth millions of dollars. There is always going to be people coming after you. And if you see what the girl looked like, she don't even look that good. She's average looking. She ain't even worth the money that she's trying to get from Shannon Sharp. I would have thought it was some dope ass bad female, but it ain't. It's a average looking broad. According to some of the news reports and things that was said, he offered her money to get a breast upgrade or some plastic surgery on her chest. Come on now, Shannon Sharp. And then supposedly, with the audio, you out here giving this woman anal sex. What if she accuses you of sodomy? What if she accuses you of sodomy? So, brothers, this is an example of what not to do. At the end of the day, brothers, black American men, the so-called black man of America, is at the bottom of the totem pole in society. And for some reason, y'all, a lot of you brothers still put yourself in these terrible situations. And then you can't, now you have to try to wiggle your way out of it. It's sad, very sad. But we're going to go ahead and get into the video. Because there's some things that Stephen A. Smith said that, I might have to, I'm not going to say push back, but we're going to have to talk about it.
This edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show coming at you over the digital airways of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio. As always, thanking all of y'all for y'all support for watching the show and what have you. The millions of downloads I received over iHeartRadio. Subscribers now eclipsing 1.18 million. Thank you so much for the love and support. Today's a different day because of where I have to get started and where I have to finish. There's only going to be one subject discussed today, and it's where we're getting started. It's involving some news that broke yesterday involving Shannon Sharpe, my colleague at ESPN and my friend. The Hall of Fame tight end was sued on Sunday by a woman proceeding under the name Jane Doe pseudonym. The 13-page civil complaint filed in Nevada alleges that Sharpe committed assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery. The plaintiff alleges Sharpe sexually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. The suit also alleges that Shannon engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress. It should be noted that the suit was filed by attorney Tony Busby. This is the same attorney that filed a suit against Jay-Z and P. Diddy, alleging they both sexually assaulted a minor, which has since been withdrawn. Jay-Z also has countersued Busby. By the way, the plaintiff in the Sharpe civil suit is not the woman heard in the accidental Instagram live stream incident that made headlines last September of last year. In response to the suit, Shannon and his legal team went to social media yesterday and released a series of allegedly sexually explicit text messages between him and the Jane Doe. In addition to that, they issued the following statement, quote, "This lawsuit, filed by Gabriella Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed," end quote. Then earlier today, Jane...
Listen, brothers. Shannon Sharpe is worth so much money. Why would you not try to protect yourself at the end of the day? Why would you not try to protect yourself at the end of the day? And again, I have to say this. That woman ain't even all that. She's like maybe a 5, maybe a 6 on a good day. I heard somebody say that she got some booty meat. If it's that serious, like I don't. She ain't got no chest. She's an A cup.
She's like a 4.
A 4.
She's definitely like below average. She's just. I don't even know what to say.
I don't get it, brothers. I don't get it. Shannon Sharpe could have at where he's at in his career. Shannon Sharpe could probably get any woman he wants if you pick that. But that's not even really my issue. Brothers, you can't put yourself in these type of situations. Shannon Sharpe is done.
Fact.
And this is an old video. This video was done about a week ago, brothers. It's the 27th today. So we already know that Shannon Sharpe has already stepped down. Come on, brothers. There's a lot of brothers. Look, Shannon Sharpe could have, and I know I probably shouldn't be saying this. Some of you brothers might need to take yourself outside the United States. There's some bad females out there, and if you want to do, look, I am against sodomy. I am against anal sex, big time. But if you out there doing that, take your monkey ass to Brazil. I'm sure there's some women out there that would love to take it in the butt. Again, brothers, I don't get it. Now, and all that, and you doing it in the butt, it's already been said that allegedly Shannon Sharpe has some gay or some homosexual tendencies. I don't know if that's true, because I know they were talking about something when he came out the car in the little tracksuit that he had on and looked tight. I don't really care about that, but Shannon Sharpe, you doing too much, bruh. And the sad thing about this too. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, my apologies.
No, you good.
Stephen A. Smith just came for a video talking about his departure. Like he goes into full detail. I did not know that the Caucasian guy got caught up in the same situation. He lost his job. Skip Bayless,
Oh, Skip
he got in the
Bayless.
same situation. Yeah, he was trying to like. It wasn't. I don't think she was a minor, but another man, his hairdresser, he offered her like a few $1 million. He's touching on her, and that was ultimately why he got fired. But with Shannon, they're saying that he resigned before he got fired because they said Disney was going to give him a chance to go through this process. But if anything else pops up, like let's just say she got more evidence,
Hmm.
that video becomes viral because there's a video. He doesn't want that to be a stain. Disney World don't play like that. So they pretty much said we can fire you or you can resign, and then if you can get through this, you have a chance back, basically. But yeah, did you see the video,
No,
the
I
recent
haven't.
one?
I
With
haven't.
Stephen A. Smith?
No, I'm gonna get to that because I'm not gonna play this whole video
Man.
because Stephen A. kind of
I'm
because
gonna
I
tell you
watched
this.
because I did watch his whole video, but he's kind of repeating himself. So I'm gonna play about 15 minutes of this.
Okay, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's
Hmm.
that he's doing it from his own show, so he gonna be able to get to the nitty gritty. Like
Right.
he ain't gonna be professional. Like so he can talk about it, and that's it. Yeah. But yeah, you're right, bro.
Yeah.
That man got the money to go anywhere in the world. He got the money to be. He got like that. You just don't operate like that. It's not, to me. This is my personal opinion. It's not about her being white. Not about her being young. Because as far as we're concerned, it's still legal. And I'm not saying it to say anything other than the fact that that's just what it is. You like it, hate it, or love it. But
Right.
you just operate better because when he made that video that got exposed on Instagram, there was something behind the scenes about him. He could have lost his job during that time.
Right.
So he pretty much was playing with fire anyway. And this is the crazy way to go out, though. I ain't gonna hold you,
Exactly. And
but that's
and
it.
and brothers, another thing. This man is an elder. I consider him an elder at the age he's 56 now. That's so I consider him an elder. He should be teaching some of the youth some of this stuff, like what not to do. But you doing some silly, as they call them, young nigga shit. YN. Come on, man. But let's go ahead and continue with Stephen A. Smith.
Jane Doe's attorney, Tony Busby, sent TMZ Sports a 1 minute and 36-second clip of an alleged conversation between his client and Shannon. In response to that clip, Shannon Sharpe went back to social media and issued this response. Take a look.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly, on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
So let me break this down real quick because Shannon Sharpe, this is where you messed up at. First of all, Jay-Z, I don't know why you comparing. I know that they both using this. They're the same lawyers going after both you and Jay-Z. Here's the problem between the both of y'all. Jay-Z is claiming that he's innocent, and he told them that why not go criminal, try to put him in jail, and he's fighting back. So I don't know if they have evidence on Jay-Z, which you didn't say that. They're doing a civil case on you. That's one. And two, she got all the audio and video. I don't know what made her, how was she able to record you? So
Mm-hmm.
you lost, and they probably can alter the video and the audio. So you you uh
Yep.
you don't you're not standing you don't have a good case right now. You really don't. So that's the difference between you and Jay Z.
Another thing, if you don't mind,
Go ahead.
is is Jay Z is saying that he doesn't even know who the chick is. There's no evidence. She don't got no messages. She don't got no audio. She don't got no video. This is a random chick trying to
Right.
say there was something. And Jay Z was like, I don't know who this chick is. Shannon Sharpe was in a full fledged relationship with this chick. So she has almost 3 years worth of information on this man. So it's a little different. What he's trying to do is perpetuate this attack on black men.
Right.
And my thing, you can't make that because this woman's like, you started off in this video right now on a video where it's going to look like you are doing something that could be questionable, or people will say it looks like you could be. So the fact that you got to lead with that, Jay-Z said, I don't know who this chick is. And I know that happens with celebrities all the time because some of these super fans
Mhm.
really believe that they be in relationships with some of these celebs. Have you ever seen some of these court shows where they get catfished by people that pretend to be? They're so obsessed that these people never like will be on Facebook saying thinking they talk to Chris Brown
Oh
and
yeah.
saying they pregnant by the Usher and never met Usher and making up lies and doing all this other crazy stuff. I get that. So I think, with Jay-Z, okay, but Shannon Sharpe, you was in a relationship. You
Right.
even called her Gabby. Her name's Gabriella. You're still calling her the nickname a man would give his woman in a relationship. You don't even realize you're calling her Gabby. Her name is Gabriella Zuniga. That's her name.
Exactly. So, Shannon, you already look bad, and I'm glad he pointed that out about the name. You should have called her by her government name, not her not her stage
Pet
name
name.
or pet name. And then you also said her OnlyFans. What's up, Tiffany? You actually said her OnlyFans name, so that's even worse. Come on, Shannon Sharpe. But again, this brothers, this is something that and this is always gonna see, brothers. Of course, it's gonna look like an attack on the black man, and maybe it is. But you have to be able to protect yourself at the end of the day. You have to be able to protect yourself. I've said this plenty of times. The so-called black man of America is at the bottom of the totem pole. So why would you not put yourself in a position so that way you don't put yourself like this? Come on, bro. We got to do better. But let's go ahead and see what else Stephen A. Smith has to say.
Well, it's a sad situation. Shannon Sharpe is somebody I work with a couple of days a week. Shannon Sharpe is somebody that I brought to ESPN. Works on First Take, which airs on ESPN every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. He's been with me every Monday and Tuesday. We've been number one for 13 years and counting. But
Brothers, Stephen A. Smith, and I'm going to just make this quick. Stephen A. Smith kind of, in a way, he put his name on the line for Shannon Sharpe. So that could actually, in a way, if they wanted to, it could fall back on Stephen A. Smith. Like, hey, you spoke highly of this guy, and look, and this guy's out of control. He can't even control himself. Luckily, Stephen A. Smith ain't going to lose. Look, I give it up to Stephen A. Smith. They call him coon. They call him all type of names. But at the end of the day, he gonna at least try to protect himself and his money. So shout out to Uncle Steven. That's a true Unc right there. What up, Unc? Let's continue with it, Unc.
But since Shannon has arrived, obviously he's helped the show immensely. And I can't thank him enough for it. We've grown close as friends. I'd like to believe that. I certainly root for him. I know he's been through a lot in life. He's overcome a lot of things. And when he departed from Fox, I was more than happy to bring him on board here. So all I can speak about is what I know based on the reports. And I can speak about ESPN and Disney. To be clear, even though this podcast, this YouTube show is owned and operated by me solely, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be dismissive of ESPN, who employs me in my daytime job on First Take. So I sit here before you today letting you know that they are aware that this is a subject that I was going to broach.
What he means is the people above him, hey, you need to speak on it. The same thing that happened with him and LeBron, and he had to speak on it. That's basically what he was told to do. Yeah, and I'm not gonna call Stephen A. no negative name, but basically higher up told him that he needs to speak on this. That's all he's basically saying. The people that pay him, even though it is just like you said, it's his show. Because I seriously doubt they really wanted to speak on it on ESPN. But hey, you got to speak on this, Stephen A. It's your people, Shannon, your boy. You got to talk about this. Because he represents Disney. He represents ESPN. He represents them white folks that sit on top. But let's continue.
Because I owe them that courtesy. With that being said, it's important to point out a couple of things. Number one, I was not there. I can provide no eyewitness account. And even though I got love and respect for Shannon Sharpe, and I'm sincerely hopeful and prayerful that he is completely innocent of the allegations that have been levied against him, I can't sit here and speak to his innocence or guilt from a knowledgeable place because I have nothing to do with this. I haven't seen anything. I don't know anything. I don't even know this person. I know what the reports say. I know the reports, the things that have been reported on a multitude of outlets, from the AP to the New York Post to Forbes to TMZ and everything in between. I mean, I can't even count the number of publications that have talked about it or written about it, networks, etc. It's all over the internet. It's everywhere. And I know that. I'm fully aware of that. This is not a criminal case. So there is no concern about him going to jail. This is a civil case, which means that he can either be found liable or not liable. The accuser in question is seeking $50 million. That was confirmed by Shannon Sharpe on that video today.
That's crazy. $50 million. I'm trying to figure out, how do you calculate? Allegedly you get sexually assaulted and you ask for, well, you know what? I got sexually assaulted, so I need $50 million. How do you even calculate that? How do you? And the thing is, with Shannon Sharpe, it's been said that he tried to offer her $10 million, and she declined it, or I guess the lawyer told her to decline the money. So that's even. So now it looks like you guilty, like you tried to give her hush money. Come on, Shannon Sharpe. But $50 million? How do you even calculate that? Let's continue with Stephen A. Smith. Let's continue, Unc.
Hey, according to the reports, it's somebody that he met in 2023, who was 19 years old at that particular moment in time. According to some audio that was put out earlier today by Attorney Busby. You hear the accuser, the female, talking to somebody who is alleged to be Shannon Sharpe. We don't know whether that's true or not. And the person in question, again, we don't know whether it's Shannon or not, the words choke, as in I will choke the hell out of you if I saw you.
What the hell is going on with shit? Like, and I don't have the audio right now, but listen, Shannon Sharpe, you a freak. Somebody called him a freakazoid. 56. I get it. I mean, look, sex is a beautiful thing. I know a lot of people be loving that role playing and stuff like that. I think some of y'all niggas might just need to just stick to missionary. Missionary only for some of you niggas, because y'all, I don't know what the hell y'all niggas got going on. Swinging from chandeliers, doing some WWE shit, poking females in a booty hole. What the hell y'all got going on, man? Some of y'all just out of control. And again, Shannon Sharpe, you let that woman tape y'all. Y'all taped it, or she taped it. You have no video of it. But then they're saying that you would pass it around. What the hell is going on? I'm going to just use the word allegedly. Come on, Shannon Sharpe. You making a lot of you done went down for the team dark skin, man. You done went down. We supposed to be winning out here. I'm going to have to call you Freakazoid, man. Yeah, Freakazoid. Let's continue.
And so because of that, knowing that audio was probably going to come out along with additional tapes, whether they be video or audio is unclear at this particular moment in time, Shannon Sharpe felt compelled to come out in his own defense. How we interpret that? Let me be very, very clear about where I'm coming from. I'm a bit torn in terms of his response. On one hand, Tony Busby has sued Jay-Z. He did sue Diddy. He did accuse them, or represented the woman who was accusing them of assault, of sexual assault, and said that she was 13 years of age at the time when talking about Jay-Z and Diddy, and Jay-Z went ballistic and emphatically denied it, wouldn't let it go. The case was dropped, and now he's suing Busby, mentioning words like extortion and other things. So when Shannon Sharpe brought up Mr. Busby in that video that we aired and talked about him being extorted, he brought up Mr. Busby and Mr. Busby's past. And he talked about him, going against African-American men. There's two thoughts there. On one hand, there's the Jay-Z, who obviously should be presumed innocent, not just because you should be presumed innocent until found guilty, but because of the manner in which he fought on his own behalf and has been very aggressive in going after Tony Busby. In the case of P. Diddy, you don't know what to believe. Again, the case against Jay-Z was a civil suit. Diddy was a civil suit. But in Diddy, you don't know what to believe because of all the allegations he's facing. But we can't forget that Tony Busby was also the person that represented at least 24 of the 27 women that accused Deshaun Watson.
So, brothers, listen, I get it, Shannon Sharpe, but I'm sorry, Stephen A. Smith, but look, you focus on the wrong person. I mean, Jay-Z, here's the thing, we get it. But again, the so-called black man has to learn to protect himself and not put himself in these type of situations. What's up, Ashley Banks? We can't be putting ourselves in these type of situations at all. We cannot. Look, Shannon Sharpe, you should have known better. And then to throw Jay-Z, Diddy, those are separate cases. So you can't compare yourself to them. Shannon Sharpe, you made a bad decision. Everybody been talking about the age. I'm not even worried about that. We know she's legal, but I do agree that he probably should have got a woman that was a lot older. But my only problem with you, Shannon Sharpe, is that you let a woman. First of all, it was recorded. Then you over there. Then you. I don't care what anybody said. You sodomized that woman. That girl, she ain't even fully developed. And then the other reason why I'm disappointed in you, Shannon Sharpe, is that woman. She ain't even she just average. She ain't even hot. She has no chest. I don't care that if she's white, black, or blue, but she ain't even all that. You could have got somebody way better with a better body. Come on, Shannon Sharpe. But we gonna stop here, and I'm gonna get to the part where Stephen A. Smith is talking about that he had to step down.
To the latest news, and it's involving Mr. Shannon Sharpe, who announced yesterday that he would be stepping away from ESPN and ESPN's First Take, my daytime job, at least until the NFL preseason sometime later on this summer. As you may recall, a lawsuit was filed against Shannon on Sunday by a woman using the name Jane Doe, or using a Jane Doe pseudonym. The 13-page civil complaint filed in Nevada alleged that Shannon Sharpe committed assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery. Shannon and his attorneys responded with evidence of the relationship being, quote unquote, consensual. And Jane Doe's attorney, Tony Busby, responded by releasing audio of an alleged conversation between his client and Shannon. For those that don't know, Tony Busby is the same attorney that filed the lawsuit against Jay-Z and Diddy, alleging they both sexually assaulted a minor, which has since been withdrawn. Jay-Z has now countersued Busby. Needless to say, the headlines this week took on a life of their own, and as a result, Shannon announced he was stepping away from ESPN. Here's a portion of Shannon's statement that he posted on social media. Quote, "I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues," end quote. It's been a difficult week from...
Before I let Stephen A. continue, that statement where he said that he's going to focus on his family, you should have been, like, that makes Shannon Sharpe, you look really bad by even saying that. You should have been doing that. From what, I think you have 3 daughters, 2 or 3 daughters, and you got to think, what is your family thinking? Look at when they have to look at you. What you think they looking at when you do something like that? Come on, Shannon Sharpe. You're not looking real good right now at all. You're not looking good. And it's a lot of, again, it's a lot of women out there. I got to keep saying it's like, Shannon Sharpe, you could have pulled something way better than that. That girl is average looking. Average looking. Come on now. What's going on, Mugga? We got to do, black man, we got to do better. We got to do better. But this should be an example to a lot of you, especially you eligible black men out there that is doing well for yourself. Some of y'all might want to trick. If that's what you want to do, I have no problem. It's your life, but you got to make better decisions out there. Shannon Sharpe is worth millions. I've said this before, brothers. A lot of you black men out here are worth millions. Your sperm worth millions, but y'all still out here making silly decisions. And then y'all want to get on black women. I do it. I say things about black women too. But in order for the black women to get in line, brothers, we got to get in line first. And we got to set standards for ourselves. Shannon is 56 years old. What is he going to be teaching another younger black man. The only thing he could do now is talk to another black man about the mistakes that he made, not about life. Come on now, Shannon. But let's continue.
A sports media perspective, certainly as it pertains to First Take. Shannon Sharpe became a friend. When I recruited him to come on board on ESPN's First Take, he came on board and he did a sensational job. No matter the amount of success that we enjoyed for the 12 years prior to his arrival, he helped take it to another level last year. And we were doing our thing this year as well. And so when the news came down that he and ESPN had mutually agreed that he would need to come off the airwaves of ESPN, it was a blow to the show, a blow to me personally, because...
Brothers, that's a nice way of saying you're suspended. That's all that is. That is a nice way of saying you are suspended. That's all that is. Supposedly he should be able to come back when football season starts. I'm surprised that he should still be there because the draft is going on. So I don't know. I guess they don't need him for that. But I guess when football season starts, I guess he should be back on the show on ESPN. That's if all this thing. That's if he's found not guilty.
Well, but he's participating in the draft on a nightcap.
Oh, okay.
So he's still doing live at nighttime though. He's doing like the live reviews on him and Ocho. So
okay.
I thought he was abandoning all positions, like he was just gonna take a break, but he's still going to be doing Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. So I guess you still got to make money. He does probably live a expensive lifestyle, so he still got to make that money.
Brothers, you got to protect yourself. Cat Williams came on his show and told him that they might get him. You had what's her name? I was about to say Moesha. Damn, I forgot the woman's name. Monique. Tell him that he needs to be dealing with women his age, which I'm not going to agree with that. But look. I know a lot of people talked about the age. I don't think that Shannon Sharpe should be dealing with no 19-year-old anyway. At 54 years old, I don't really think he should be dealing. I mean, if it was a smash and dash, I wouldn't care. But 2 years? 2 years? Come on now, Shannon Sharpe. I know I'll be honest with you. As a father, I'd be a little bit upset if I found out that Shannon Sharpe was dealing with my own daughter. She's 21. So I would be a little bit upset because I'd be wanting to know, like, what's your intentions? But again, but come on, Shannon Sharpe. We got to do better. I don't know what's said in this. I don't know what's said in the comments. Oh, tired of Slim? We'll be tired of Slim. We'll fight tomorrow.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. I just feel like, like I said, I don't care about the age or the race. It's about a 56-year-old man that's still I can't imagine myself being that old, knowing and not have a companion, just somebody by my side. I can't, and I'm not even knocking men that still want to live like that. Still want to live that life, but his decision-making skills,
terrible.
And now that I watch older clips about how he says, I pay my way, like he said something about paying, like he'll put the money down to get what he wants. And I thought he really had more of I thought he had more of a mature.
What's up, Naya?
Like, he just was more mature about how he would even date women, because like sometimes I did hear him talking about, because remember he got on Donnell Rollins about talking to a 23-year-old. He's like, why aren't you talking to the mom? Why are you talking to a 23-year-old?
Right.
So in my head, I just thought he would probably get better advice to young, impressionable black men that watch the show. But he is just it not being disciplined, deviant, and do I think he learned his lesson? No.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
I don't think he has. I think if because I don't want nothing. I want justice. So it's not about if he actually did something that they can prove. I want justice. But if he gets through this and he's innocent, he's gonna make the same mistake again. And I hate to be that guy. But these some people don't know when to stop. He's 56.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy, man. And there's the main reason is because he was still banging another chick
Hmm.
that got exposed on social media. So he was already. We don't even know who that chick is. Who is that chick?
I have no idea.
They said her name. I think it's Michelle, but we don't even know who that is. We don't know if it was. I don't know.
I hope she don't come
The
out.
the the yeah, Gabriella thought they was in a serious relationship, and then when that got exposed, that's when she found out he was talking to other women. So she even believed they was in a real relationship. So I don't even like that man's deviant. He was cheating on her too. So it's just his behavior is unacceptable.
We got to do better, Shannon Sharpe. The so-called black men of America. I'm going to repeat it again. Y'all are at the bottom of the totem pole according to society. Let's continue.
I'm going to miss him. But it was not a surprise. When I was on the air just a few days ago, a lot of people were looking for me to say something. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to speak to one's innocence or one's guilt about something I have absolutely positively no knowledge of whatsoever. Do I believe that Shannon Sharpe is guilty of what he has been accused of? Absolutely not. That is my personal opinion. The brother that I've come to know, I don't believe would assault or rape anybody. And I'm going to state that emphatically. But just as emphatically, I'm going to remind everybody it is my opinion because of what I feel about him. Not in any way implying that I know a damn thing beyond that, because I don't know. I've seen the text messages released by his lawyer, who, by the way, I don't think has been impressive in this at all, because some of the information that was let out to the public, I have no idea why a lawyer would advise such a thing, but that's a different subject for another day. And we're allowed to deduce from an opinion perspective what we believe and what we don't, so long as we concede that we have no way of knowing definitively what the truth is. What I can speak about is the fact that this three-time Super Bowl champion and this Hall of Famer, who emphatically stated to me over the phone how innocent he is of these allegations that have been levied against him, insisting repeatedly that anything you read, anything you see, anything you hear was fully and totally consensual. In the same breath, what's inescapable is that without us knowing all the merits, he was working with Disney, where I've worked since 2003, excluding my departure from 2009 to 2011, when I was gone for those 2 years. Outside of that, I've been at Disney since October of 2003. I know this place. I know the worldwide leader that is ESPN, who's under the umbrella of Disney. And it wasn't difficult for me to figure out what was transpiring. As I sit here before you today discussing this matter, ESPN and Disney have a wait and see attitude when it comes to whatever evidence they may learn about this entire situation involving Shannon Sharpe from a legal and from a civil perspective. What they didn't need as it pertains to those two things that I just mentioned, they didn't need any definitive evidence at this particular moment in time about all of that stuff once all the things Shannon Sharpe's lawyer put out there. It was uncomfortable to listen to, and it was not something that Walt Disney once associated with its brand. So to have him on the airwaves while all of that stuff was put out there was not something that Disney was going to take. That is what I mean when I say I'm not surprised.
You know, brothers, I gotta say this. As he's 56. I feel like after 50, you should be trying to relax. You shouldn't even be. And I get it. People still want to have fun, but there's some people that should just be able to just sit at home and sip on some lemonade. It's not that serious. That's why I don't get it. I don't get it. You too old with this nonsense. Shannon Sharpe out here living like he's 20 years old, 30. This ain't your football days no more. I'm sure he would probably beating up some trim in his early age, but it's like he ain't stopped. I don't know if it's because he's still working out, he still want to feel like he's young. Come on, Shannon Sharpe. But let's go ahead and let this guy continue.
In getting to know Shannon Sharpe, I know a lot of things that he has articulated that he has been through in his life. I can't imagine too many things in life tougher than what he's going through now. And there's a lot of people out there talking a lot of smack and a lot of stuff about him. You will never hear that from me. It will not happen. I don't give a damn if we speak a day from now, a month from now, a year from now, years from now. He's my friend. And it's always going to be that way. I'd say this.
Go ahead, bro.
They said in this video he was backtracking a lot, that he was throwing shots at Shannon Sharpe because remember earlier he said, I'm not surprised that this happened.
Yeah.
Why would you say that then? Later in this video, speak more about like the behavior, but he's gonna again say, I'm not talking about Shannon Sharpe. He's gonna be like, I'm talking about just in general. But you're talking about, it's about Shannon Sharpe, but they said that this is when he was trying to act like he wasn't, but at the same time, which I get it. Sometimes you still gotta set a tone.
Yeah.
But it's hard to not, talk about him. It's hard to not use him as an example, because this is what we see with black men a lot. And my theory has always been the lack of discipline and educating ourselves on like what it means to be in this position,
right?
Because it's still the same story. And I think what distracts us nowadays is race and age, and it's like no, this guy's 56. There's no justification. He should know better.
Right.
He should definitely know better. But that's it. What's up, you feel me?
Let's continue.
Say the same thing to you about anybody else that I know to be my friend. I don't have to work with you. I don't have to be around you. I don't have to be around you all the time, talking to you all the time, to have love for you and to wish you the best. And that's exactly what it's going to be for him. I sincerely hope that all of this goes away and we find there's a bunch of falsehoods to these allegations and he's able to come back in this industry and do what he has been doing, which has been phenomenal. I hope Club Shay Shay and Nightcap and all of these other things that he's associated with, that he continues to thrive in his life and move forward. And whatever mistakes he may have made along the way, I'm not talking from a legal or civil perspective, I'm talking about in his eyes or that of others, whether it be moral or something else. I hope that he corrects whatever he feels he needs to correct and he moves forward. But in the process of doing all of that, I hope we're all reminded of a few things. And this extends far beyond a Shannon Sharpe or anybody else. One of the things that we need to remind ourselves of is that in this day and age, very few things are private. In this day and age, there's very few things that won't come to light, because most things do.
True.
But thinking beyond Shannon, thinking beyond myself, just thinking about the world that we live in terms of the podcast stratosphere and everything like that. A lot of people want to walk around thinking you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. You could your own operation. You don't have to answer to anybody. That's not true.
Somebody spoke on that, and it's funny that he says that. You brothers with all that, y'all. I think y'all brothers with all that
I
money.
said that.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was you. Because I know it was you. I think also King Bob said that.
Thank you, guys. Yes. that was-
But y'all brothers with all that money, I think y'all really believe that y'all are untouchable. And as you can see what happened to Diddy, I think Diddy was worth over $1 billion. I'm not sure how much he was worth, but I'll just say
That's a
$1 billion.
fact, yeah.
And look what happened to
Yeah,
him.
he was a billionaire.
Billionaire. And I guess he thought he was untouchable. Let me tell you something, so-called black man of America. There's always going to be somebody that's going to have to put you back in your place. And I think that's what happened with Diddy. I'm not saying that's what happened with Shannon Sharpe, but Cat Williams called it. Cat Williams was one of the ones that called and said that I don't think he used the word he was next, but they were going to get him. And basically told him he need to watch himself. Not in those specific words, but you need to watch yourself. And Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to assume, right, I think he just took it lightly. So you brother with all that money, y'all, somebody going to put you in your place at the end of the day. Let's go ahead and continue. Oh, did you want to say something?
No, I was agreeing. Yeah, you speaking on some deep stuff. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and continue.
All the signs.
I've had people open their mouth and they've said, Stephen A., you work for ESPN. What kind of control do you really have? This is my podcast. This is my YouTube show. I own this. But if you think for 1 second that I could just do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, and there's not going to be any repercussions, you're clueless.
Tell him, Unc.
And you're destined to fail and fall on your face. I'm not talking about Shannon Sharpe. I'm not talking about Shannon Sharpe. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm talking about a climate that we're living in. Some people sit up there and they look at me and they say, Stephen A. don't get himself in this kind of trouble. How does he pull it off? Well, first of all, there's certain behaviors and proclivities that you never have to worry about me engaging in. But most importantly than that, I often say this about Walt Disney. I'd rather work for a place with standards than one looking for them.
I actually like that quote. And again, a lot of y'all talk. I've heard a lot of people call Stephen a coon, and I hate to say it, he knows his place, and he's handling himself very well. He ain't out here wilding out, and even if he is, we don't know about it. He's doing what he's supposed to do to get his money, If he is wilding out, he doing it real secretly, but he knows where his money comes from. He knows that there's rules and regulations. So y'all could call Stephen A. coon if y'all want to, but Big Unk, he's still doing the right thing. The only controversy the last controversy he had that we know of is with the LeBron. And I'm on Stephen A. I'm on Big Unk's side right now when it comes to LeBron. I don't care what anybody say. He won't talk no trash. He was just stating facts. They just didn't like it. And LeBron didn't like it. He a crybaby anyway. I hope his team get put out the playoffs. Oh yeah, by the way, the Knicks is 3-1 right now. Go Knicks. New York, stand up. You heard? But let's continue.
You know why? Because lines are drawn. And I never have to worry about crossing them because guess what? I've got something there reminding me, hold on. You don't need to do that. It's not a silo. I'm not by myself. I don't get to operate in any way that I want without having to worry about ramifications or repercussions. I always have to be concerned about that. So I'm challenged every day to come on the airwaves and think about the ramifications and repercussions of anything that I do. Constantly. And because of that, that's an additional guardrail to secure me from putting myself in a position that could jeopardize myself, my show, my brand, my family, the company that I work for, anything like that. Again, I'm not talking about Shannon right now. I'm talking about what people say when it comes to people like myself and others who unapologetically explain that we have people to answer to. And all you folks out there with your own podcast, running your own operations, if you have advertisers and sponsors, get what? You answer to somebody too.
Exactly.
And I'm here to tell you, don't be upset about it. Feel good about it. Because you need to view it as an extra line of security that enables you, it being a guardrail, it enables you to watch lines that you want to make sure that you don't cross. Because when those lines are always there, you usually know it. And you usually make sure you don't cross it.
I'm glad he said that, because you got some of these black men, some of these rappers, they think they their own boss. Y'all saw what happened to Rick Ross with that song, You Ain't Even Know It. Drop a Molly in a drink, you ain't even know it, and then boom, he lost his sponsorship to Reebok. So you have to answer to somebody. Even being in the military, brothers, you got to answer to somebody, no matter how high your rank is. The general has to
And there's
answer to the
nothing wrong with
president.
that.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with it, brothers.
It should just be. Oh, my fault.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, Stephen A. Smith just said, he said, that's another reminder about why you just gotta, have discipline. If there's things, just think about the things you've been doing. And the more popular you become, because Shannon, like I said, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe, when we go to sports, if it's not the old school guys like Shaq and them, we really all the viral videos mainly come from Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith. It's either one of those two guys. I mean, back in the day it was the Shaq. Back in the day the Shaq would have his like, I guess it was the people making mistakes. You know how they said Shaq was goofy, so they would,
Yeah.
But right now, Shannon Sharpe is going viral even more than Stephen A. Smith, just based off his quotes, the way he debates, his countryness to it. I just feel like they just understood how valuable he is. And my thing is, I don't get it with these ladies black men, we just so happy to see another black man get. Like I said before, man, we just want to believe these men got it all together mentally
Hmm.
just because they got money. I don't think success means that your mental health. I think that he needed to have like a mentor or something because he's still making the same mistakes. Not forget about the money. Just what men have the discipline,
Right.
the companionship factors, the just having that etiquette. And now that they're going through all these old videos, a lot of people was warning this man. This man used to wild out. Once he started drinking a little bit, he would start talking crazy about there's a video of him bragging about that. I don't know. I know you don't know because she's younger.
Hmm.
Her name's Sky Bree, a little white girl, little innocent blonde hair, blue eyed white girl that's very popular on the white side as far as like she's on a thing called Twitch. She's just let's just say she's like an OF model, but she doesn't do anything sexual. She's just known for looking good.
Right.
White lady. And he's bragging about banging her out. He said, I had that hot little number. Now she's in her early 20s as well. They just exposed a clip of him saying, I know who Sky Bree is. I had that. So he don't he a little reckless a little bit with it. That's all.
Come on, Shannon Sharpe. And speaking of Shaq, and I heard audio actually today, and again today's the 27th. I heard audio on somebody else's YouTube channel where Shaq is paying people to get evidence of Shannon Sharpe to get him removed. I don't know if Shaq is trying to take his place, but supposedly is saying that Shannon Sharpe was hating on Shaq. I don't know where this is coming from, but there's actual audio, and I don't even know if that it doesn't even really even sound too much like Shaq. I don't know, but there's audio of Shaq speaking to somebody about trying to get Shannon Sharpe fired, or I mean, I'm sorry, get evidence of Shannon Sharpe, and he's actually uh, putting out money like a reward.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that's not true. And Matt Barnes was the one who spoke on it.
Yeah, Matt Barnes was the one. And it just those are the biggest contracts in the history of ESPN that Stephen A. Smith got and
Hmm.
Shannon Sharpe. So I already knew. You already, bro. We can't stop acting like we don't know. Black people do not like to see other black people. I'm talking about in media,
I was gonna
not
say
us
that.
as fans.
I'm glad you said that.
But it's just so crazy when you think about like what really goes on behind the scenes. Because I didn't know that Shaq. I thought they was in the same network. They're under TNT.
Yeah.
That's not even. So I can only imagine those two guys back to back. First it was Stephen A. Smith, then it was Shannon Sharpe. We ain't hear nothing about what's going on in that other network with Shaq and them,
Right.
Charles Broccoli and I forgot it. So
Kenny Smith.
I look, and yeah, Kenny Smith. And you know what's crazy? I believe everybody knows behind the scenes what Shannon Sharpe does, and I I just think people it's just something that they know behind the scenes because they're around people, but it's just sad how there's no support when it comes to these in black media, black entertainment.
Right.
I didn't even know that that Stephen A. Smith was the one that got him on the show.
Yeah.
I just learned that, and that to me that's commendable. Because I feel like you get your token, and not to say they want to be considered an Uncle Tom or a token, but it's usually one on the show, right? You only see one,
Right.
so that's commendable. Knowing that he did that is very commendable, and you're right. Those people they'll make jokes about it. The people is upper his. Hey, Stephen A. Smith, you was the one. That's probably why they had him speaking on it because they probably said, well, you was the one that brought him on our network.
Right.
You might want to talk about it. So they will remind him. I don't know. We don't know, but I know he's letting us know that hey, this is why he's speaking on etiquette and being just responsible because of what he's doing now. He's basically telling the world like, hey, I got to do this. I got to be a spokesperson for the network now. You know, because I don't think Stephen A. Smith be wanting to talk on black people, to be honest with you. I think he has a code of conduct with it.
Right. And brothers, I'm gonna look more into this thing with the Shaquille O'Neal thing because it's something. Matt Barnes is the one who brought up, and I know that Matt Barnes and Shaquille O'Neal had a small beef. So I'm going to go look at it because this right now looks like crabs in a bucket, and it's just sad that it's black men that's trying to tear other black men down. So I don't know what's going on. I know Shannon Sharpe spoke on it. I just saw a small clip of Shannon Sharpe saying that he never had no personal beef with Shaq. So, but I'm going to look more into it. Right? Matt. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that with Matt Barnes. But I don't know what's going on. But it's just sad that black men, and I'm gonna just speak on it just a little bit because I've never really been like that. Like when I was in the military and I saw somebody get promoted, instead of me hating on that person, it just made me work harder because I wanted to get there. I wanted to be an NCO. I wanted to be a sergeant. I did it.
Facts.
I did feel
Facts.
like that other person may not have deserved it, but guess what? I wanted to be a sergeant. So guess what? Let me go work harder, get these points, get my skills up, so that way I could be a leader too, and get promoted. And I would always congratulate people on getting promoted, but I would never throw I didn't throw any hate at them. But I will say there were some people that I felt that didn't deserve it, but I wouldn't try to bring them down. So I don't get it. So I'm gonna look into this thing with Matt Barnes, Shaquille O'Neal, and Shannon Sharpe, because I don't know why Shaquille O'Neal is doing that. I don't know if he's just doing it for the money. Maybe he wants to take Shannon Sharpe's place. Maybe that's probably it. But I don't like the way he's doing it. But let's go ahead and continue with this, because I veered off a little. I veered off a lot.
Because the bigger picture is always staring in front of your face. I've seen a lot of stuff happen over the last few months. I've seen a lot of stuff happen over the last few years. And in almost every case, guardrails were pretty much absent. I'm glad I have guardrails. The people that work for me, the people that work with me, the people I work for, the public at large. I found a way to be me, while in the same breath guarding myself against some of the things I need to be guarded against. Just a thought. Just a thought. Back to Shannon. I'll always be here for him if he needs me. Just the same way I said that about Skip Bayless when he departed from Fox.
And let me say this, and I think the reason why the reason why Stephen A. got Shannon Sharpe on there, because even Stephen A. had a small issue with, because him and Skip Bayless worked together, and he had an issue with Skip Bayless. So I believe the reason why is because they both had they both had a common enemy, if you want to look at it that way. Because Skip Bayless was disrespectful to Stephen A. Smith too, because they both worked together. I forgot what the name. I don't know if it was Undisputed, but they both worked together. I think it was during the 2 years when he wasn't with ESPN, he was with Skip Bayless.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a fact.
So so they probably both had a common enemy. If that's the right thing to say. So that's probably why he helped him get on the show. Let's go ahead and finish this out.
Just the same way that I would say about any of my friends. That's what friends do. even in the toughest of times. Sometimes, especially the toughest of times. They ain't telling you you're right all the time. And hell, sometimes they may not stop you from falling into that abyss, but they're there to lift you up when nobody else will. That's all I have to say. Other than I hope he's back in this business real soon on linear television. Talk.
That's crazy for him to say that he hopes. But I'll give it up. If what Stephen A. Smith is true, that's a friend. And I like what he said. Sometimes you got to let him fall, but he'll be there to pick him up. I don't know if that's a shot. I hope. I don't want to take that as a shot, but it sounds like a shot. But again, I ain't mad at Stephen A. Smith. The man helped him get the job. He was there for him, and he's going to be there for him if he fails. And I guess he'll let him sleep on the couch if he needs somewhere to sleep.
It's funny.
But brother, that's pretty much it. I wanted y'all to listen to this because, like I said before, we're failing. We are failing. We're doing well in society, but we are still at the bottom of the totem pole. And stuff like this, only thing is going to happen is they're going to look at black men in a negative way. It doesn't take much, brothers. You got this guy over here and over there doing the woman in the butt, choking the woman out. Now they're gonna look at some of these black men like they savages. We already look crazy out here already when it comes to television, the news. Black men doing this, all they got to do is put in the papers, and they're gonna put the word black. It's almost like the word black is an evil word. When the white man does something, they don't put white. They might put his name, or they might just put suspect. But when it comes to a black man, they are going to put black. They've been doing it for a long time, black man. So you got to carry yourself very well. I hate to say a lot of us got to work on eggshells in America. But that's pretty much it, brothers. That's all I got. Peace.